Hugh Hefner, a true American icon, created an empire that was unrivaled.
Although some of his bunnies may have gone rogue, it's because of the love and respect that we received from the man behind it all.
The Rogue Bunnies mission is simple: 100 playmates taking control of their valuable IP, while honoring Hef's iconic Playboy style and bringing that experience to our collectors.
Like only we know how. Because after all, we did learn from the best.
Relive the stories from the most prominent celebrity home in history.
From those of us that lived it,
The employees that worked it,
and the guests who loved it.
And
The mayhem continues.
Hey, this is Victoria Fuller, and this is another episode of Rogue Bunnies Mayhem. I'm so excited for our guest today because he is really great, and I've met him recently and been able to get to know him. His name is Loudmouth, and we've been talking in Twitter spaces and whatnot, and I'm so excited that he has agreed to come on the show. He's got so many people that are pulling at him, so he's so gracious to be on our show. Loud, how are you? Say hello.
Hello, I'm doing amazing. And yes, I've been spending a lot of time with you here lately, so we've been getting to know each other. And let me tell you guys, she's a sucker for a captain hat, so just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say right away, that's what made me feel at home. I don't know if you can see, well, this isn't going to be visual, but in the back, I have a painting with the boss, which was Hugh Hefner, and he always wore the captain's hat. And I'm like, Victoria, so this loudmouth dude, he's like sporting the captain's hat. Is he like the new Hef? What's going on here?
I'm back.
Yeah, he's back. So that was one of the first things when I started to get to know him. I mean, I've seen him around Twitter spaces. I've been in his spaces in and out. I've been familiar with his name and whatnot. And so, we're having this big party at the Verona and in Vegas. And so he's actually done video inside of the Verona, and he sent a little thing showing me his post that I was like, hey, you remind me of Hef with that hat. We should talk. So that kind of got the conversation going. And of course, he'll tell you the hat was not a copy of Hef. It was, it's his Bored Ape, and it's become kind of his signature as well. And it looks great on you. Yes.
But I tell you what, Hef seems like a really classy dude on the things that I do know about him. And then what I've heard from the people that were closest to him, would never take it in defense that I've got this hat on like Hef. So I appreciate that. I really think it's a compliment.
It is.
Yeah, we all had we have a lot of very good memories with the man, and love him, respect him very much.
Yeah. So he seems like he was a very top-notch, classy guy. So, but the first person to ever bring it to my attention was my wife. And she said, I'm getting a lot of messages from my friends that says, what is he trying to be? New Hugh Hefner or something? And I had never thought about it until then. And it never crossed my mind.
You didn't think about it once. Like it never crossed.
Not once. The most I knew about it was like when he came out with that television show years ago, and my wife watched that.
Oh, Girls Next Door?
Yeah. So until I got into NFTs, no, not even a thought process.
Wow. Okay.
Because it would have been, it looked like it could be very strategic, because a lot of the in real life events, I'm surrounded by a entourage or, a lot of beautiful women. And
Yeah.
we got a similar mind. We know what works, right? Like all the guys that see the guy with all the girls wants to be like the guy, and all the girls want to be with the guy that's with all the girls. So it grabs everybody's attention, right? So if you're a businessman and you're in marketing, you got to grab them with their attention. Then you got to keep it, because talent will get you in the room, but only your character keeps you in the room. And he stayed in the room till his last day. And my plan is to stay in the room until my last day as well. So got to have character.
So just so you know, Brian was Hef's head butler for 21 years. So he has a very intimate connection with Hef and saw that hat a lot. So
Well, actually, I'm the one that went and purchased the hat.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yes, and I was trying to tell him the story about how that came about. Yeah.
Guy DeCoud and I, we were commissioned to go find him a hat. We used to go to this one place in Burbank called Baron's Hats. And that's where we got him the fedora and all that. And then he was going to go to Cannes. And when he was on his way to Cannes, we're like, well, he needs a different kind of hat. He's going to be on this yacht and all this stuff. We're like, hey, wouldn't that be cool if he had like a captain's hat, right? And so they're trying to find a captain's hat. Baron's Hats didn't have them. So then a guy went looking around and found in Long Beach, the port of Long Beach. In that area, there's these little shops, and there was a little hat shop. So I decided to take a drive. I went down there, boom, and voila. the captain's hat was formed. He loved it. He wore it, and it became his image. It's crazy.
Let's go. Man.
So that's why I brought it up, Loud, is because when Victoria told me about you, and I loved your persona, I loved seeing your videos, and you just got like this really cool character about yourself. And I went, okay, but I gotta know, is he trying to be the new Hef? Yeah. And so you just explained it. You didn't even follow the guy. So I guess it was just a natural that you were just you know, great minds think alike, right?
Listen, I've learned more about you, Hefner, in the last couple weeks than ever in my life. Because of the proximity, right?
Well, you said your wife watched the Girls Next Door show, right?
Yeah, she did. And here's the thing too, like Victoria wasn't the first bunny that ever reached out to me in NFTs as well. So his ex-wife did
Crystal
message me too. Yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't ex-wife or whatever. I don't know what you call that.
Widow.
Widow. Yeah. So I had been in contact with her on a few things too. So I guess just because the hat and then the traits have bunny, like had a pink lazy line with bunny ears, and then she wanted that. And then we were talking about maybe doing something similar to what Rogue Bunnies is doing and I had no idea what they were doing at that time as well either. So yeah, guys, if you wear a captain hat, then Playboy Bunnies will reach out to you.
It's a formula. It's a new formula.
Well, you know what? I think you're right on to something there, Lau, because too, the fact that you talk about the blonderage, you wear the captain's hat, all the girls around, there's an opportunity for anyone that maybe wants to bring their own captain hat and be at a party where you're definitely going to have tons of girls, right, Victoria?
Yep.
We're going to be in Vegas and you're going to be with us, right?
I will.
Yes, he's going to not only be with us, but he's going to be a big part of the party, and he's going to be bringing a lot of the fun. We've been scheming and talking about plans how to make this party even better than, we know that it's already going to be.
I've got somebody coming as far as from Brazil to the party. So,
whoa, dude.
He's invited some key guests. Yeah, it's going to be a great guest list. That's for sure. It's going to have influencers and Hollywood people, bunnies, a lot of rich people. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of rich people.
I'll tell you what, that's one good thing about the way the world is now with Web3 and NFTs and crypto is the connectivity is like never before. So just in the last couple years or so, since I've been in NFTs, I've traveled all over the world, been on private islands and private yachts and helicopters. I've never had a door that won't let me in. And mainly because I have a captain hat on. Like, who doesn't want that guy in, right? Because it's fun, right? And when people see me, immediately they smile and then they say, "I love your hat," or "I love your shirt," and a lot of times people are really saying, "I love your courage," because I could never pull it off because I don't have the courage to wear it, right? Because if you just wear it, you would. So hopefully that can inspire people to just, don't worry about what everybody else is going to think, because the majority of the people are going to love you for it when you're your authentic self, right? The way the world is right now, it's connected us all over the place. And being the real you is what gets you in those doors and gets you in those places. And then that gives you the opportunity to really meet some great, amazing people. So,
well, and that's what keeps you there too.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier, you might get a shot.
Yeah, you might get in, but the only way you're going to stay in is is having character. And that character is being who you are authentically, because the people that don't like it, they just keep it moving. They're not going to worry about it. Right. So don't worry about them. You're not called to them. That's not your enemy. But to find your people, you really just have to be you, and it attracts the other people that are like you. I say that just to inspire everybody to don't trade yourself or sell yourself short for something that you're not, because it's exhausting. I did it in my earlier years trying to be accepted or received or to fit in. Man, I wasn't called to fit in. I was called to stand out. And I would have never thought at my age that I finally come alive and find myself and my people, right? And that's one thing that really, I'll always be in debt to crypto and NFTs for that, because it really helped me find my people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because otherwise, you're just the weirdo. You're the weirdo in the town that nobody understands crypto and thinks you're an aluminum hat wearing guy, or hey, that crazy guy wears the captain hat, or because I've always been wild, right? I used to wear a bunch of gold when I was a teenager, 16, 17. I just like it, I came from really poor upbringings and nothing. So when you got something after not having anything, it really gives you a place of gratefulness to stay in and being thankful. And so I'll never want to forget where I came from, but I sure don't want to go back and stay there. I want to pull people out of there, because there's a strong desire in my heart to see people really live at their potential. And I think it's possible.
That's freaking awesome, Lau. Well, you know what? I want to talk a lot more about that, especially about being authentic. And Victoria, I know you want to talk more about the big event we got coming on, but we do have to take a quick break. So let's take a quick break. Come right back. We are Rogue Bunnies Mayhem, and we are with the one and only Loudmouth. We'll be right back.
Mayhem continues.
This is Jennifer Pershing, Miss March 2009 and Series 1 Rogue Bunny with exciting news. Have you ever wondered what the parties were like at the mansion? Well, we have the next best thing. You can now purchase tickets to our Rogue Mansion 2.0 party at the Verona Sky Villa at the Westgate, Las Vegas on September 14th. You'll mix and mingle with 15 gorgeous Rogue Bunnies and enjoy food, drinks, and music in an epic setting. Visit mansion.roguebunnies.com to secure a pass before it's too late. See you in Vegas.
Welcome to the metaverse.
And we are back. We are Rogue Bunnies Mayhem, and we are here having a blast with freaking Loudmouth. Oh, we're just going to call you Loud because, dude, you are loud. I'm digging on your personality.
Hey, all I know is the mayhem continues.
Oh, it is always continuing. It's going to continue in Vegas. We're going to be talking about that. But I got to say, look, you know what's so fun is when we do the in-betweens while we're taking the break, you know, and then we start throwing off and the little fun side stories. You just shared a picture where you were actually wearing, it looked like Hef's red smoking jacket.
Yep.
Now, I understand your wife wasn't too happy about you taking this picture.
No, because she gets plenty of messages from her friends and family already, so she didn't want to to put the nail in the coffin with that one because it is very close. But that was actually
awesome, man.
A buddy of mine's shop in San Francisco, and we showed up there to look at some jackets, and I seen that, and I was like, I got to put this on. And if it wasn't, I think $599, I probably would have bought it. But
wow.
that was pretty expensive for me to wear it, one or two times. But.
Well, I can tell you, Hef's personal smoking jackets were a lot more than that.
I guarantee it. Well, I heard one of them went at an auction a lot higher than that one.
Oh yeah. The auction. Well, actually, speaking of the auction, we got the couch.
Yep.
We have the big tiger couch.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if we're bringing that to Vegas. It hasn't been decided yet. But if we do, man, we got to get a picture of you on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't allow just anyone to sit on that couch. They have to be special to us, family. And I can tell you, dude, you're already family.
And I was told on the break that you actually are the guy at the beginning of the show that they had it with the bobblehead, right?
Oh, yeah. I had my little bobblehead with the Girls Next Door show.
I had to show you my bobblehead.
That's freaking awesome. So you're holding up right now this awesome bobblehead where you're wearing like a white robe and your captain's hat.
And sunglasses.
So this originated from my first trip to Vegas once I got into Web3 because I started walking around the casino in just the bathrobe from the room. Right? I had my captain hat on, my chain, and my bathrobe, and then that's what inspired that. So
that's awesome. You know what? You talked about Web3 being such a great space because it kind of puts everybody on an equal playing field, and you're able to access people and get people in a room that normally would never get in a room together because of titles and whatnot being a barrier, right?
Yeah.
What's interesting about that is that was one of the things that was really key about the mansion is when you go to these parties at the mansion, Hef always created an environment where it didn't matter who you were, whether you were the big celebrity or just a nobody. Like everybody, once they got into the party, we all just were, right? Like just part of the party. And so that's one of the things why we wanted to carry on this IRL events and have these Mansion 2.0 is to carry on that idea, that theme of, creating a space where everybody's equal and can have a good time without all the big titles.
That's one of my 3 core values that I live my life by. It's the first one, actually. It's find lonely people and make sure that they don't stay that way. Number 2 is help enough other people get what they want. And you never have to worry about what you want. And then the third one is you do your best to leave everything and every person better than you found it. And I think that if you live by those 3 core values, you can never fail.
Hallelujah, right?
It's almost impossible.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty dope.
So when you said that, that's the first thing it reminded me of is to find lonely people and don't leave them that way. No matter what, because you never know what people are going through in their head.
Yeah.
You can see some things on the outwardly expressions, but a lot of times, sometimes people can look like they're in the best place in the world, but yet they're in some of the darkest, deepest places. And you might just be that voice that pulls them back from the edge. but don't ever try to be the voice. Be careful of being the voice that might push them the last little nudge
Right.
off the edge, right?
You never know what someone's struggling through.
Never.
Yeah.
And so if you lose your cool on the wrong one on the wrong day, it can be very, very, very detrimental to some people. I think that people are the real value in everything. So buildings get torn down, cars go to the scrapyard, and stuff goes to the dump, but people's what's forever, right?
No, Loud. I'm glad that you went there. Because another thing that Victoria and I had talked off before this show, I'm like, tell me more about Loud. Like, I know, he's got this really cool character, this persona. I understand, he's in the whole metaverse, the NFT world, which I've been getting schooled and I'm learning about, And he goes, you know what you're gonna really dig about Loud is like he's genuine, he's down to earth, and I'm telling you, man, there's a spiritual side to this cat that I think you two are going to connect. And I'm just hearing this stuff right now, dude, and I'm loving that.
Yeah, I love Jesus with everything in my heart. And so I think that's probably what you're referring to.
Oh, absolutely, man. That is beautiful, man. No, but I think it's because of that, it comes through to be able to be there for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people in the Web3 space that they've only experienced like nasty religion. And so when I say that, I don't want anything triggered in people. I want to let you know, like, he was really clear on who we're supposed to control, and that's self-control. And I think that a lot of religious people try to control other people and what they do and judge them in that sense. I think that we're supposed to really control ourselves, and then you can inspire somebody to want what they see inside of you. And I never have to tell anybody what to do or what not to do. We have this innate ability inside of us to want to rise to the occasion, right? So if you just become the occasion, they will want to rise to it. And you never have to tell people, oh, you should stop doing this. You should not do this. How do you even know? You don't live their life. You live your life. So maybe you should stop that.
Right.
And then you should just live that and stop trying to control somebody else. Because I believe Jesus came to abolish religion and bring right relationship. And then religious people killed him for it. So I'm not religious. I have a relationship with him because he made it possible.
That's such a great way to put it. That's such a unscary way to put it, because people are triggered by religion and whatnot, and it makes
it should be. It's like dangerous.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's the one beautiful thing about Web3, cryptocurrency, NFTs is we are a big old pile of misfits, right?
I love that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're figuring out how to build a culture that can honor each other and love each other, with a lot of people overcoming a lot of pain and hurt and rejection throughout their life because they never did fit in. And that's what helped change my life, because I never fit in where I was from because of where I was going. I never fit in where I was going because of where I came from. And then I had to realize I wasn't called to fit in. I was actually called to stand out. And when I embraced that, it changed my life. And instead of all that momentum that was coming against me, instead of me trying to fight it, I just turned around and said, follow me. And I use it as momentum. And here we are, right?
Yep.
You touched on something that I wanted to expound on is that you recognize that, if you're given a gift and you have a way of like actually becoming successful, you want to take that success and be able to help others. I mean, you just talked about your 3 less mantra, right? And it really comes down to like, stripping yourself of yourself and then looking out for others. But there was a part in there where you said, people don't realize what others are going through. Like, I've been in some of the richest homes throughout Beverly.
Yep.
Throughout Bel Air. And I'm going to tell you, some of the most loneliest people are the most richest people in the world. You put on the personas with the big houses, the big cars, the next cool bling watch, or the clothing. And I'm not saying every person is miserable, but there are a lot of people hiding behind those things.
Yeah.
Even in the metaverse, I worry about like people that are maybe hiding behind a character or a screen name or someone, and they're just trying to hopefully. Maybe someone's going to reach out and say, hey, man, I kind of have some deep issues. I need some help. And that sounds like what you're doing, man. Yeah. You're building that community. And I respect you for that, man.
Thanks.
Well, Loud, from the perspective of today, now that you have all this success and you're very well known in this industry, if you could go back before, what advice would you give yourself?
Man, that's really good, because there's not much that I would change because it actually made me who I was. But the advice, I'd say the number one advice is to find out who you are so that they can't convince you what you're not, right? That was probably the biggest struggle, is trying to figure out who I was and where I was supposed to fit in and what I was supposed to be doing, because everybody around you tries to tell you what to do and what they think is best. And so I always try to use it in this with, and no disrespect, but I'm not going to go to the homeless guy and ask him to help me with my finances because of the fruit in his life, right? There's nothing in his life I desire. And a lot of people, what Mayhem was just talking about is there's a lot of people that are chasing and trying to go after this facade that these people are showing, but they're not really the real. That's why people say, oh, never meet your heroes, because they're people too. And so everybody, when they lay their head on the pillow at night, they're trying to figure it out as well. And I think that exposing our weaknesses and our vulnerabilities, that actually is what draws us together as a community and a people, right? Otherwise you're just a jerk that knows it all, that nobody wants to really be about, right? So if you're always perfect and doing everything right, that actually drives a wedge between us as people. I mean, look at the agendas in the world today. It's like, I'm right. No, you're right. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. And it's like, I don't think it's really about being right. It's about having right relationship with each other and picking value and relationship with each other over being right. And if you're married, you understand that completely, right? It's not about being right. It's about the right relationship, choosing each other over that to be loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the best advice I could give them, is show your vulnerabilities and find out who you are so that you can help other people become who they are.
I love that.
Don't be persuaded.
I've seen him and I've met him, but when I reached out to him and I told Jen, who does all our social media, I said, oh, he's at the Verona and I'm going to talk to him and, I'm going to invite him to the party or whatever. And she's like, yeah, good luck or whatever. He looks like, a real crazy guy and whatever. And so I was like, I just reached out and I said, you remind me of Hef. I love your hat. And I just left it at that. And he wrote back, and I had no expectations of anything. But once we started talking, I was like, oh, he's a really nice guy. I really like him. And I liked his values and I liked the things that you talked about. And I see where you have your persona as, but also you have this person that you are that came out. And I was so delighted because, like Hef, not trying to compare you, but, people have this idea of who he was and what he was about. But when you met him, you realize it was not at all. The persona didn't match so much, your expectations of what his personality would be like in person. So I was really delighted when I met you, how great you are and how sweet you are. And I don't want to break your persona too much, but super nice guy. And, I could see why people flock to you and want to be around you, because you're super generous with not only your knowledge, but your kindness and your inclusiveness to bring people together. So that's what
you trying to make me cry on your show? You trying to make me cry on your show?
I know, but I just I like you so much. And I told everybody, I go, I know he looks like he's a crazy man, but honestly, he's a really nice guy.
That I kind of am, but it's very strategic and by design. Like if I'm a fisherman of men, they're fishing lures, right? Because you have to notice who I am before you ever want to hear what I got to say. And most of the time when people do get to know me, that's one of the first things that they say, like, man, I totally judged you in a different way, or I had a different perspective, or I'm sorry. So they already have an open, receptive heart to listen to anything past that, because they've already preconceived in their idea, like their own conviction, like, golly, I judged you so wrong. I thought you were this and this and this. And
yes.
I didn't do that by design. I just was being me. And then actually looking back, I've started to find out and learn how the things work. Just like how I would get people in the parties. There'd be lines out the door, red carpets, and they couldn't get in. But then somehow I just got favor with all these bouncers and door people to let people in. They're like, okay, yeah, he says him. And then after looking back over, several months and years, well, I didn't just try to get past those guys like everybody else did. I didn't just
you're likable.
And I looked at them as a person, and I'd talk around the corner with them. The videographers and the picture takers, everybody's like, take a picture of me. And they don't ever see them as a person. And I would shoot videos of them and then show them my phone. Like, I see you, bro. You're super talented. And then guess who they started turning the camera on, and who they sent the footage to first, and who got in the doors and who got other people in the doors. So then that gave me tremendous favor with all these influencers and celebrities that couldn't get in the door. So I'm getting people in the door that are celebrities, and they're like, who the heck is this guy? I don't know. I'm a dad, I was not planning on being in New York throwing a big banger, 2 years in a row, the last couple of years. I was thinking, This is very surreal. I even had to ask myself in the very beginning a lot, like, am I supposed to be here? Am I allowed to be here? Like, what's going on? I was doing this when I was like 20, 20 something.
Well, one of the things you're getting really known for is that you know how to throw a party, which was one of the reasons why I totally reached out to you, because we certainly know how to throw a party, but you're so deeply tied into the crypto community, Web3 community. Yeah. So when I approached you, I was like, I really want someone who also is like-minded, knows how to throw a good party, potentially making a nice alignment for the future, the throwing parties. So what did you think when you heard about the mansion party? Like, you were surprised that someone else had a similar idea to what you were doing?
Oh, I was super pumped, and I was thinking that we got to do this together. We got to start traveling the whole United States, because
Yep.
I just started my first official party for a company I just started called Prodigal X. It starts in December at Art Basel. Hopefully, we like the way this party goes and how we work together. I think so far it's going good, and then we can just smash all those together. Because I have 12 parties that's going to come out across the country and all the major different cities and states that are coupled with cryptocurrency events and blockchain technology and Bitcoin and stuff. And so through that, we're going to do lavish, crazy, wild parties that
That's right.
are
Woo,
double
woo,
what
woo.
anybody else did at least. So it's like the Playboy
Speaking our
Mansion
language.
on the road. And here's what I found out. In Web2, the real deals are done on the golf course, right? Because you get to know people, and you're not just there shilling and trying to do a business deal in an office and pencil push. You're actually getting to see people through interaction, how they react and anticipate things. You're getting to know them, because I don't care what you're building or what you're doing. If I like you and I'm for you, let's go. I'll help you with everything, as long as it's not illegal and trying to rug pull or anything. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you're doing. So the name of the game is not to find everybody, to do business with everybody. The name of the game is to find the ones that love you and do business with them forever. So in Web3, what I found out was the party is the golf course where the real deals are done. So in Web2, it's the golf course. In Web3, it's the parties coupled with the conference. So I thought, wow, I'm going to start a traveling golf course. And people don't really get that yet, but that's what I mean. It's the office of the future.
Yeah.
And this technology is literally going to be applied to everything in life. If you tell me what you do in Web2, I can tell you how I can apply blockchain technology to make it better and make it more efficient and to give you more time so you can actually spend it with what matters the most, right? Friends and family. Well, what better way to do that while doing that? Like, hey, I'm going to work. What do
That's
you do?
right.
Throw parties? Yeah, let's go.
When I first started talking about the direction that we're going in with these in real life events, and there's all these serious, we're giving to charity, we're help, whatever, and they're like, what are Rogue Bunnies doing? We're like, we're about to party, like we're going to show people like a party. And at first I felt a little superficial, because that's not really all that it is, right? It's not really just about the party. It's a connector. It's bringing people together to do like what you said, to do other things, to communicate, connect in person, engage with each other without just being a shill fest. So parties are important, and it is important nowadays to actually have some fun. We've had some bad times. The world needs a break. Certainly bringing people together, I think, is the name of the game. So I agree with you completely.
I think that it is while we're here on earth is to party and
Yeah.
have a good time. And I can back that up.
Okay, good.
It's sales at its finest. It makes the world go round, and it brings everybody together in connectivity so that everybody can build their wildest dreams, so they can do everything that they want to do. Because a lot of people forget really, really easy, and that they take things way too serious, and they're uptight about things, and they're upset, and they get full of anxiety and depression. And like,
Yep.
how can you ever celebrate if you're not even surviving, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
hard to breathe. Every time I get on an airplane, they'd say, put your oxygen mask on first before assisting others.
Yeah.
So if you can't breathe, it's really hard to help other choking people while you're choking. But if you have your mask on and you can breathe, you can put everybody's mask on. So
Good point.
take care of yourself and get to a place where you can actually breathe and you're in a healthy place. But when you do that, don't forget about everybody. Put the masks on for them, help them out, because now you got 2, 3, 4, 6 people putting masks on, and everything's back to normal and fine. Like, right? So
That's
we're
right.
just a few pivots away from living in a world of utopia.
And I want to let people know about the party.
We are the party. What are you talking about?
Well, we are the party, but I want people to know how they can join us in like this ultimate mega party at the Westgate. And you can go to mansion.roguebunnies.com, and that's the link to get your pass. And you're going to be there, and your crew is going to be there. You have a bunch of people that you've invited that are amazing people.
I got a professional football player that's coming. I got Tony Bravado from House of Sex is coming. I've got Ramil is coming, and I've got Mind Your Biz from YouTube. He's coming. I've got Miggy Crypto. He's a big gamer and influencer from YouTube and Web3. He's coming. I've got some locals there in Vegas. I got X from Idols coming from Brazil. Yeah, that's just a few, just to name a few.
Damn.
Yes.
I might have a Web3 rapper coming.
There's not going to be enough hours in the night to enjoy everybody. So the night, I know it's going to go by super quick. It's going to be like, boom, it's going to be done. So
yeah, it's a pretty exclusive party with limited numbers. So you're going to have to hurry up. If you think like I think, I process things. I can't remember what she just said, where to find my tickets. So what I would do is I'd go follow her on Instagram or on Twitter, and then her links are in all of her posts. So you just got to click it. You don't have to remember anything.
So Victoria, remind everyone where they can go if they want to get involved or not get involved, go enjoy the freaking party. I mean, like, how do you get your tickets?
Well, you can go to roguebunnies.com. Of course, everything is at roguebunnies.com, but the direct website is mansion.roguebunnies.com. All the information is there. You'll be able to see the venue and what we have in store and all the information, the times, the date, everything is there. Mansion.roguebunnies.com.
How do you spell rogue?
R-O-G-U-E. Yes, it's R-O-G-U-E. This is a problem. Some people can't spell rogue.
A lot of people do rouge.
Rouge bunnies. No, it's not rouge bunnies.
Well, you can go follow you on Instagram or Twitter, and you got all those links in there.
All the links in there. We have a Linktree, roguebunnies.com, and the Rogue Bunnies on Twitter and the Rogue Bunnies on Instagram.
And Loud, how's everybody else follow you?
My name that's on the screen, that's my Instagram right there. And
so it's _loudmouth.eth.
Yep, that's me on Instagram. That's short for Ethereum, ETH.
Yeah.
If you go to Twitter, just type in loudmouth.eth and it'll pull me up. And my profile pic is this Bored Ape Yacht Club. So you got the right one if that guy pops up.
Is that your favorite NFT?
Absolutely.
And how long have you had your Bored Ape? That specific one? I know you have more than one.
I've had it for, I don't know, about a year and a half or so.
Okay.
And I mean, I've got him on everything: clothes, jackets, hats, step and repeats, charms.
Awesome.
I'm going to get a big Ethereum piece made maybe, or one of my mutants. Probably Ethereum piece.
Or Rogue Bunnies, one of those.
Well, yeah, I could do that.
We'll see.
Then I would really be, look, if I go any deeper and closer to half, we're going to have to do something where I can just say, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
Well, Loud, you've been a blast, dude. We definitely want to have you back. And we're going to be actually recording more shows in Vegas.
Yeah, we're going to do a live one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Breathe conference. He's speaking, so he will be there. And so we're going to catch you again on the podcast.
Well, hey, Loud, thank you so much. Again, I want to remind everyone, just go to mansion.roguebunnies, that's R-O-G-U-E, bunnies.com. Mansion.roguebunnies.com. Go find out all the information. Big party. And I'm telling you, there's not going to be enough tickets for everyone. Do not wait. I'm telling you, the list is already getting blown out, and there's only so much room that we can fit everyone in. And you don't want to go, oh man, I should have done it. So don't hold back. Don't be like what everyone does in LA, wait until the last week, because there will not be tickets left.
We're only selling 100 tickets. Only 100 tickets will be for sale, and then that's it. So
That's it. So, dude, Loud, thanks again, man. I can't wait to hang out with you in Vegas. And, thanks to everyone for listening. And
the mayhem continues.